Welcome to Ideological Bunker, the show where we challenge norms and break away from traditional frameworks. In this episode, we delve into the most controversial and subversive ideas, following a clandestine interview with Kingcha, a figure who thrives on chaos and power. Kingcha, a cynical and dangerous strategist, was previously interviewed by the show's director and producer in a secretive meeting. During this interview, they discussed topics that threaten to upend the foundations of what we understand as order and control in the Western world. Although Kingcha will not be present in today's podcast, the episode will focus on the provocative ideas he put forth behind closed doors. Get ready for a tense conversation as we dissect his claims and twisted vision of power, manipulation, and the true state of chaos governing the world. This episode is sure to leave no one indifferent. Enjoy this episode.
Ever get this weird feeling like maybe, just maybe, all this morality stuff is, I don't know, a total sham, like someone's playing a game and we never got the rule book? Ooh, I like where you're going with this. Well, buckle up, because today's deep dive is about to get seriously real. We're talking Kingcha, a character who not only sees the game, but thinks he's figured out how to win. And here's the thing, Kingcha, he's not your typical villain, right? He's not plotting in some dark castle. He's more like that friend, you know, the one who loves to play devil's advocate. Okay, sure. Except Kingcha's version of devil's advocate is basically pointing out all the cracks in society's oh-so-perfect moral mask. Like he's peeling back the layers and saying, look, none of this is what it seems. So he's calling out hypocrisy, got it. But what's his problem with morality itself? He calls it el espejismo de la moralidad, which basically means the mirage of morality. Catchy. Right. But also kind of chilling when you think about it. Kingcha believes most of us are wandering around in this fog, following these rules we think are absolute. Right, like don't steal, don't cheat, that kind of thing. Exactly. But he sees them as tools, right? Tools used by the powerful to control everyone else. Hold on, you're saying all those good deeds people do could be part of someone else's game? Even mine? That's Kingcha for you. He wouldn't hesitate to call you, well, not you specifically, but people in general, peons, pawns, content to follow rules, never questioning the game itself. Okay, that's messed up. What about the people who do rebel? Those who say, screw the rules, I'm doing my own thing. Are they still pawns in his game? He calls them rebeldes, the rebels. They rage against the system, break the rules, maybe even try to create their own. But here's the catch. Let me guess, they're still playing the game, even if they're breaking the rules. Bingo! They're reacting, sure, but they're still on the board. And that's where Kingcha sees himself as different. He's not a pawn, and he's definitely not a rebel blindly bucking the system. So he's like some kind of dot mastermind, the guy who sees the whole board while everyone else is just focused on their next move. He fancies himself as the aware player, the one who's figured out the rules of the game, the morality game, and uses that to his advantage. Okay, so they're good. The pawns following blindly, the rebels fighting back, and Kingcha pulling strings from the shadows. But if he's not a typical bad guy, then what's his goal? What does he want? So you're saying there's this guy, Kingcha, who sees right through us, sees through all our little moral games. You probably say games is putting it mildly. And you're telling me we have no clue what he actually wants. Well, that's the thing about Kingcha, right? He's not your typical, I want to take over the world kind of guy. Okay, so not a power-hungry maniac, got it. Yeah. Then what? What's the end game here? He's more about, I think, exposing the flaws. Yeah, like the cracks in the system. He gets off on revealing hypocrisy, especially with those who, you know, preach morality, but then benefit from, well, chaos. Okay, so he's calling out the BS. I get that. But what's the point? Is he, like, trying to burn it all down? Or does he want something better in its place? That is the million-dollar question, right? And this text, it doesn't give us a straight answer, which honestly feels very Kingcha, doesn't it? Keeps you guessing. It's like he wants to drive us crazy, but also kind of genius. Right. You're left wondering, what's next? What's he gonna pull? But here's something else to think about. If he sees our version of morality as, you know, a tool for control. Right. Does he have his own set of rules? His own code? Oh, interesting. So it's not just a free-for-all in Kingcha land. Well, the text hints that his whole thing is self-awareness. Self-awareness, okay. Like he's rejecting the shoulds, the shouldn'ts, all those values imposed on us. Right, the stuff we're told is right and wrong from the time we're kids. Exactly, and he's saying maybe true freedom comes from recognizing the chaos, not trying to control it with all these systems. He's not necessarily immoral, he's just playing by a different set of rules. And because of that, he's unpredictable. Those bound by traditional morality, you can see them coming a mile away. Oh, I bet. It's like they're playing checkers and he's over there playing three-dimensional chess or something. Exactly, he's operating on a whole other level. This is kind of freaking me out, not gonna lie. It's like trying to nail Jell-O to a wall or something. But that's the point, right? Kingcha doesn't want us to be comfortable. He's shaking things up, making us question everything we thought we knew about, well, everything. And I gotta say, it's working. I'm already looking over my shoulder, questioning my own reflection in the mirror. It's a whole thing. So where does this leave us? After diving into, Kingcha land, this place where nothing's really right or wrong, it's all kind of dot fluid. It's easy to call him a villain and be done with it. Right. Yeah, he's messing with some pretty heavy stuff here. Morality. That's like the backbone of society. No kidding. But he'd probably say society's got a pretty messed up spine. True. But you've been studying this guy. Is he really trying to wreck it all, or is there something else going on here? I don't think he's about offering a replacement, a Kingcha-approved moral code. He's more about pointing the finger, making us see the contradictions. So more like, hey, look at this mess, not here's how to fix it. Exactly. Like that friend who asks the really awkward questions, but they get you thinking, right? Oh, I know that friend. Always stirs the pot. But how do we deal with that? Most of us, we're not Kingcha, thank goodness. Right. But we also don't want to be played. Exactly. So what then? What's the takeaway for, everyday people? Honestly, I think it's about being willing to think for yourself. Kingcha's cynicism, it's a good reminder to not just swallow the rules whole, to question everything, basically. So right, who benefits from these rules? Do they even make sense? Kingcha would say, never take that for granted. So being aware of manipulation, even if it's not always some evil plan. Yeah. Exactly. Even if it's, unintentional, even if we're the ones fooling ourselves. Okay, so full awareness. Got it. Anything else? Because my brain's about to melt down here. Honestly, that's a good sign. It means you're challenging those assumptions. Well, this deep dive was definitely a challenge, not gonna lie. But that's the point of these conversations, right? To push those boundaries. See the world through a different lens, even if that lens is a little bit, Kingcha-ified. Exactly. Well, there you have it, folks. Kingcha, everybody. The guy who reminds us that morality might be more complicated than we think, and that sometimes the most dangerous games are the ones we don't even realize we're playing. Until next time, keep those thinking caps on, question everything, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Just let it flow. Your mind wants to know. Let your brain begin to grow. In this bunker, we take our stand against the